Hi everyone, welcome to the Manifesting Straight Talk podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Jackson, and I'm a mindset and manifesting coach from the UK, and I am here to ignite that fire inside of you. If you know you were born for more and you've been thinking things have been feeling a little bit vanilla and a little bit stale, and you are ready to move things forward and manifest the life that lights you up, then you are in exactly the right place. Join me every week for mindset and manifesting tips, plus my weekly energy forecast, and let's get things moving in the direction that you really want to be going with your life, because you were made for magic and miracles, and this is your time. Hi everyone, it's Rachel Jackson here. Welcome to this week's podcast episode. I cannot wait to share this week's topic with you. It is really a game changer. Now, I want to ask you a question. Are you being the leader that your future needs you to be? Now, you might not even think of yourself as a leader, but we are all born leaders. We are all here to lead ourselves. Whether you see yourself as a leader or not, you still are one. Now, let me explain. The best leaders in the world have certain traits. They have certain things that they do and certain things that they are known for. And when you think about your life, the only person who is going to get you to where you need to be is you. You have to be in charge of your own destiny. You have to be in charge of the way you show up, the way you act, the way that you influence, the way that you communicate. It is all about you leading yourself. Now, if you're not doing that properly, or you've never even thought of yourself as a leader, you could be stopping yourself from being your greatest self. And I want to show you some traits that I've picked up along the way doing leadership coaching, which are really powerful behaviors that good leaders have that can actually help you transform your own life. Now, I want you to think about the good leaders you've worked for, and there might not be any. I know when I got into leadership coaching, it was because I had some horrendous bosses. But when I had them horrendous bosses, I give them a lot of control and a lot of my power because I looked to them. They were my bosses. They were paying my paycheck. At this time, I didn't see myself as a leader. I didn't see that I was in control. They were never in control of me. I was in control. And through learning leadership skills, I've actually seen how that's changed my life, but also how me stepping up as the leader of my life has completely transformed everything and helped me manifest my best life. So I'm going to talk you through some traits, and I might pick this up again in another podcast episode because there is so many you could choose from. But let's start off with a leader who is a strong leader has a vision. They have a direction of travel. They have an end goal or a destination that they are wanting that team to achieve. They are communicating that vision, and they are setting all the actions in line with that one vision. So wherever you're doing it as a team, you should know that it all is helping to create this vision that you are working towards. Now, how many of you have a vision for your life? How many of you have even bothered to set the direction of travel? Or are you just waking up every day thinking it's just is what it is? You just go and you're reactive and you work through your day that way. You might be running your business that way. We often do this because we go into entrepreneurship and we don't think of ourselves as that leader, because you think of it as you are the one who is the employee, the CEO, everything. So you forget about the fundamentals of good leadership. So it's really about having that clear vision for your life, clear vision for your business, having that direction of travel. Even if you don't know the details, you could know that you want to be having a business that gives you freedom, fun, happiness, joy, and a hell of a lot of money. Or you might know that you want to have happy relationships in your life. Or you might know that you want to have a family and 5 kids. Whatever that is, set your direction of travel. Set your focus on what you want your life to look like. That is what a visionary does. That is what a leader does. They have a brainstorming exercise. They could put all these things out on the table and then go, which do I want? Which looks best for my company? Which looks best for me? And that is what you need to do. What is your vision? Get really, really clear on it. And know that when you are leading your life, you always have a vision, a set direction that you are working towards. And it doesn't have to be step by step. You just need to know the direction of travel, and the universe will help you get there. Now, secondly, a good leader has a growth mindset. They believe that things can change, that you can learn, that nothing is ever stuck. Now, how many of you have actually looked at your own mindset and thought, I can't do that. I will never get this. I am never going to make money in my business. My customers, they just want free things. They never want to change. How much fixed mindset are we putting into our life and business? How many times are you saying, my husband just is never going to change. I've just got to settle for it. That's because you are closing your mindset off and not having a growth mindset. You are not thinking, I will always be able to learn what I need to learn. I will always be able to do what I need to do. Everything is figure outable. I can solve and change anything with the right mindset. That is a growth mindset. So how much are you applying to that to your life? How much are you thinking, this is as good as my money is ever going to get? This is as good as my job is ever going to get. This is as good as my business is ever going to get, which is even worse. My business can only earn so much money. My business only attracts so many customers. My business attracts customers who don't ever want to commit to paying. These are all fixed mindset. When you apply a growth mindset, you know you can learn what you need to know. You know the steps are going to turn up. The right teachers are going to turn up. The how is going to turn up. Everything is going to figure out. Imagine that. Letting go of the how, because you know you will always learn what you need to learn. You know that you will always have everything you need to have. Imagine how freeing that could be if you just let go of the how and know that you will always find the solution that you need. That's how you have a growth mindset, and that's how you start to lead your life. Now, feedback. We all know good leaders give you feedback. They're not stabbing you behind your back. They're not saying things without you realizing. They are upfront, they are honest, and they give you feedback. Now, when you're applying this to you leading yourself, think about, how often do you give yourself feedback? How often do you look and think, Rachel, you have been so negative this week. What are you doing? I have to check in with myself regular and sometimes think, I am not really performing the way I would like to perform in life. And I have to give myself feedback. So I have to say things like, Rachel, you've been complaining a lot this week. And the impact of that is it's affecting your energy, it's affecting your mood, and you are manifesting lower vibrational things to your life, which is slowing down all the good things that you are trying to manifest. That is great feedback to myself. And you can do that all the time as well. The best way to deliver feedback, I think, is a really simple model called AID. What's the action you were doing? So the action for me was complaining too much. What's the impact it's having? Well, if I complain too much, I'm affecting my mood, I'm affecting my energy, I am vibrating at a lower vibration. So what's the desired outcome? What is the thing I want to change? I want to raise my vibration and stop complaining because that is affecting my thoughts. So I need to change and stop when I start complaining. So my desired outcome is to stop complaining as much. So that is really key, because now I'm like, every time I start complaining, I'm like, whoa, I'm affecting my vibration here. What is going on? But how many times do you just let your thoughts run on autopilot? Or you keep doing the things that are sabotaging you. You're on a diet and you keep eating the things you don't want to eat, and then you feel guilty. How many times do you give yourself feedback and go, what is the impact of this that I'm doing to myself? Or in your business, When you're looking at your email list and you're thinking it's not growing, or no one's responding to me, or my Instagram isn't growing, I'm not getting comments, I'm not getting engagement. All of that is feeding that energy. How many times do you give yourself feedback and go, actually, the impact of this is I am stopping people commenting. I am stopping my Instagram growing. I am stopping my email list growing. When I keep thinking it's not growing, I'm actually stopping ideas coming through to have it grow more. So the desired outcome is I need to stop looking at things through this negative lens. I need to start projecting what it is I want rather than saying what it is that I don't want. So that's a feedback loop that I've just given myself that then has changed the impact and the desired outcome. And once I start to act on that desired outcome, I will have a different result. So feedback is so key, but we just don't give it to ourselves. We're keen to give it to everyone else, and often everyone else in our lives, but not always to ourselves. Or if we do, it's critical and it's just judgmental. It's just, you're not good enough. You look too fat in that. What the hell were you thinking saying that? I can't believe you've just done that. You are never going to be successful. All them things. We are like our worst critic, but that is not productive. We're not giving ourselves the impact of it. So saying you're not good enough, the impact is that true? Is that actually true? Because if I wasn't good enough, then the impact of that would be devastating. So start to monitor your thoughts, start to think about, are you giving yourself the right feedback, or are you just criticizing? Because if you had a boss like your head, would you want to work for them? Would you want to show up every day and be put down and belittled and made to feel small? Or would you want some developmental feedback that is really going to start to change things in your life? I know which boss I would want to work for. I know which leader I would want to work for. So why are you letting yourself live with that criticizing, judgmental leader in your head? Whereas actually you could have a really developmental, motivating leader that is pushing you to move forward in life. That's a good question for just to look at how much it resonates for you. How much are you genuinely treating yourself like crap? And would you go and work for that person? Or you might be working for them now, and that's to question, are you in the right job? But that's a whole nother podcast. Now, the other thing good leaders do is they monitor progress. So you've got this big vision, you're giving yourself the feedback, you know that things are going to work out, you know that you've got this growth mindset. How much do you check in and go, how well am I doing? How amazing am I doing? Often we have a big success and then it's like suddenly we're on to the next one. We don't stop and monitor how amazing that was. You've just made so much money in your business. You've just attracted new clients. You've just done this big thing. Why not stop and celebrate and monitor the progress that you have just made? Yes, you're maybe not at your end goal yet, but you are a step closer from what it is you've just done. So make sure when you are leading yourself forward, you are monitoring your progress and celebrating your success, because it is super, super key to keeping you motivated. Imagine if you had a big goal at work and your boss wanted you to achieve this big goal, but the big goal was 5 years off. The big goal was really big in the future. Imagine you not getting any praise or feedback for that whole 5 years. How motivated would you be with your level of work? Not very. So why are you only giving yourself feedback and motivation and encouragement when you have hit that end manifestation, which could be a long time off? It could be 5 years' time, but you're missing all the magic on the way because you are not monitoring your progress. If you looked at where you are now compared to where you were last year, I bet there is a big shift. If you looked at where you are now compared to where you were 5 years ago, there will be an even bigger shift. So please stop, monitor your progress so that you can actually take in all the good stuff that you are doing. Again, leaders have empathy and care for their staff. They listen to what they have to say. They care about what they have to say. They are really encouraging. When was the last time you actually listened to your inner child, your victim mode, your ego, and cared what it had to say. Cared to the point that you were actually there to listen to it, soothe it, encourage it. Because we often have these shadow parts of us, and when we're trying to expand and grow, so when you are on that vision and you are trying to go for that vision, that can bring up a lot of shadow parts to us. Things like the victim mode, different archetypes that show up, like the prostitute archetype, where we undervalue our worth. We might be undercharging for what we're doing in our business. All sorts of things can creep up. Our negativity around how good we are or how much we can achieve it. That's our ego coming to keep you safe, to keep you where you are, because there's something that it wants you to work through. It's not coming to say, hold on, hold me back. It feels like that, and it wants to do that in a sense, but it also wants to be heard. It's also saying to you, you are about to breach out your comfort zone, and this is scaring me a little bit. Can I just have a bit of support so that I can support you through this as well and not be that sabotager to your big dreams? So empathy and care for the parts of you that haven't caught up to your big vision yet. Imagine you are running a team and you have some real key players who are amazing at seeing that vision, want to drive it through, and are on board. Then you've got the other ones who need a bit more coaching, need a bit more inspiration, need a bit more motivation, and need to know that they are good enough to get there. You've got to get all parts of your team to the end vision. There's no point in just taking a few key players, but them other people are important too. And that is your ego, that's your inner child, that's all that part that just needs that nurturing so that it comes on the journey with you and doesn't sabotage the dreams later. So have empathy and care for all parts of you. That is what a good leader would do. Another thing a good leader does is they invest time, money, and energy into developing their team members. Now, when was the last time you invested time, energy, and money into you and your dreams? When was the last time you give yourself a time off, annual leave, a break? When was the last time you invested in yourself, your learning, your development? When was the last time you just put energy towards building this dream? If them answers are you haven't done that for a while, that is where you need to start. You need to start putting time, energy, and money into yourself. You do it for everyone else. I know you all do it for your kids. I know you all probably do it for your business. But how much are you feeding your own energy, time, and development? Your business is an extension of your energy. If you're not feeding your energy, then that's not feeding your business's energy. It really is kind of a mirror of each other. So it's time to start looking at how much you are feeding yourself good development, feeding yourself with money, whether that's spending money on yourself as well as developing yourself. There is so much you can do with that, but it's really thinking you are the most important asset in your life. You are here to lead you and only you. You can't lead anyone else forward. You can only lead yourself. Actually, how good leaders lead others is by role modeling, by setting their stall out and standing by what they say. And that is what you need to do. You need to set up your standards. You need to set up your behaviors. You need to set up that level of what you are going to step into and role model it and own it and become that leader. You are here to influence other people by just being your best self. You might be here to change the world by just being your best self, but it doesn't start by looking outside of you. It starts by looking inside and seeing what type of leader you are actually showing up as. Because would you want to work for you at the minute? Would you really want to be led by you at the minute? Because let's be honest, that is what's happening. You are being led by you now. So if you don't like what you see and hear, it is time to make some changes. So are you ready to step up and be the leader of your life? Are you ready to step up and be the leader you were born to be? There is so many things that you can start to adopt in this concept. You'll know good leaders and you think, am I doing that for myself? I want to challenge you this week to go and think of the best leaders you've had or the worst leaders you've had, and think about how that's portraying in the way that you treat yourself. Because remember, these are key behaviors that you can adopt today. So I really hope this one has resonated with you and just struck a chord to go, am I leading myself in my life? Am I the leader that I want to see? Because you are following you. You might think you're being influenced by the world around you, and you might, but if you are, then again, you need to step up and lead yourself. There is so much potential in this concept, and I hope you can see how valuable this can be. And if you want to reach out, please just get in touch. I would love to talk this through. But have fun with this. See what type of leader you are. And remember, leaders can always change. Any leader, no matter how bad they are, can change. So if you've been not showing up as the best leader, do not worry, because you can change that from today. So let's step up, be the leader of our lives, and let's manifest some magic and miracles. Because believe me, you were born for it. You were born to be a leader, and you were born to live the most magnificent life. Catch you next week. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. I hope you loved every minute of it. If you want to follow me on social media, all the links are in the show notes, and I will catch you next week for more Manifesting Straight Talk.